Hi, and welcome back. Today is kind of a monkey tool day. Everybody else's is monkey tools this. It's a rivet setter. It's the rivet maker. Right there. Put a 5/16 in this side and a 1/4 inch in this side. No, this is 3/8. I'm sorry, 3/8 by 1/4. I can make two different types of rivets. Same rivet on two different diameters. And here's the other part of it. This is the header. One for the 3/8, one for the 1/4. Right there. Okay, that was a block of steel. Had no purpose it was done with its life of what it was. It was it looked like a hydraulic cylinder arm, the push rod. It's supposed to be 1045 or 1050. I treated it as such. So now, then with that, like I said, my definition of monkey tool is taking one tool that's meant to do one job, and taking that tool and modifying it so that it will do more than that. They were one unitasker in this building. One. It's this right here. This has got one purpose and one purpose only. That's to put out fires, and that's it. I don't want it for a hammer. I don't want it for a lawn dart or anything else. This is the only thing. I'm telling you. Every shop should have one, and I'm within 3 feet of a fire source at an exit. So if I can get to the exit, if everything's piled up right now, been moving and working and everything, I won't be able to get to this and put out the fire. That's it. Everything else got to have more than one purpose. So I've been busy in here, and it's cleaned out except for horizontal surfaces. I love them. God, I love them, but they suck. They attract stuff to me. Yeah, and so I've got to go through. I moved everything around, so and done everything. Now on this right here, my forge, the door, the little the holder that attaches the cable here to the door, right there. The screws, the refractory in the door cracked, and these are concrete screws. And anyway, they come apart. They started sliding up, and I couldn't do anything with the door. So the last time I used it, I had to prop it open. So I took it upon myself yesterday, to fix it and it's laying over on the horizontal surfaces. So I'm gonna have to carry you over. So, all right. Okay. Yeah, where am I at? Right there. Yeah. Okay. I put 1.5 layers, but 1 inches of that kale wool in there. And I put a 3/8 bolt. And welded a piece of angle iron to this. This will still turn because it's in the kale wool, but it's locked in there. It can't come. I've got it nutted and bolted. I figured I'd give it just a little bit of free play. This looks wet, but it's not. But it's going to have to. And I took and used the Rutgers fireplace mortar. Hopefully that's Yeah. So, and went around the edges there, around the metal, to keep it from burning up. So it's got to dry for a little while. I ain't gonna fool with putting it on the forge right now. The monkey tools that I'm gonna do are just absolute, just drill and tap, a little bit of welding. Since I got my buddy's welder over here, he called me yesterday, and I told him my chickens flew off with it, took it to Alaska. Okay, so it'll be a while before he gets that back from Alaska anyway. And I made me a tongue rack. I just a shelf there, and I'll put the tongs there. So, and see, yep, the forge, no door, and the horseshoes laying there where I've been doing that. Then this right here is the guillotine tool. I'm going to put a piece of angle right in here so I can adjust it and go back and forth, but I got to cut it first. And so, like I said, need a tool, make a tool. I made every bit of this. The bolts and everything, and the steel, the complete steel, and the dies, or a piece of steel to make dies out of it, was $75. And a couple hours of cutting and grinding and drilling, and a lot of drilling and tapping. So, but it's what I want. It's big and heavy. It'll do hammers. It'll do whatever I need right there. So back over here to the anvil stump right there. Got black paint need to put up here. Like I said, I got more horizontal surfaces in here than the law allows. There, I got me and my brother went and got a bunch of wire and a generator and shelving and stuff like that out of a house that's fixing to be tore down. And him and his boss was they was in charge of tear down, demolition, and construction of a new house. So got 3 more shelves right there put up. Get everything organized, it won't be so bad. Up there is aspen barrels. That I collected on my hunting trip. These is all off dead trees. No harming alive green trees was done in harvesting these. They was all off dead trees. So got a log and several limbs. I had them on there. And yesterday I seen Mr. Hanneman's needed tool there. Little stuff that he video he put out about a jig for doing chisel work and sculpting work. So I come out here and made me one in case I ever get a big anvil that I can do with. So I made me one. Be handy to have around. Also made some bending jigs, different radiuses and stuff, so that I can clamp these in the vise and bend hooks. They still got to be ground. Like I said, I just got them together and put them up here hot. I didn't fool with them. So that's them. And let's see, you've seen my striking anvil with the down right here. Yeah, with my Stamp-O-Matic 100 on there. Yeah, right there. It holds my my stamp on there. And since I was working with, got a bunch of horseshoes and stuff like that, I made a pole clamp. I needed one, just something to hold something while you're grinding it, so you don't have to bend over, something that's going to hold. So I made one. And when I stepped on the pedal to raise it, the top jaw would turn. So I was debating on just putting a piece of bar stock or something on there to keep it from spinning, keep it in line. So when it went up and down straight. Well, when I started doing that, I thought to myself, I said, "Self, you've got a buttload of horseshoes out there. Time you do something with them, other than just watch them rust." And I went, "Yeah, it is. It's about time for me to do something." So this is how I found out my door was coming apart. So I lit the forge, put the horseshoes and stuff in. I'd done that Friday, I think it was. And so anyway, I made a pole clamp. And let's have to show it to you. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen the pictures of it, seen what it is, everything else. So I'll get out of the way of it before it bites me. Right there. Right there. Right down to the yellow lace, got a tail. Now, this part right here is actually a counterbalance because it's quite tippy that way and so this right here is full of lead bullets that I melted in there, put them in there, melted them, heated them up with a torch, and when they run down and sunk down, I added more to it. I got about 1.5 boxes of bullets in there. Right there. Got the lever. Stands up. It's still, once it gets up above this, so you can get this high enough right here, it still turns a little bit, but it'll go right back. I didn't film any of making this. I just got out here and got busy and didn't do it. So, and what is a predator without prey? Hungry. That's what that is. So I fixed it a meal. So anyway, that right there, I made a blood-sucking skeeter out of it, or out of horseshoes and some nails and the beaks and the tails, all these tips of horseshoes, wings, legs is nails. These are just 2 bolts I cut off. See, just a little bit of imagination, a little paint, and a little time's all you need, and you can do stuff like that yourself. Hey, need a tool? Make a tool. Monkey tool. And this was the exhaust pipe that I had laid around here. Actually, the exhaust pipe was off of my brake drum forge that I had, and and it's got I tried 2 springs to start with, and I couldn't operate it. It's just too much with 2 springs, so I just put 1 in there. And if it ever stretches out, which I hope it don't, that's the reason I take the meal out of it. It's in a little bit of a preload anyway to start with to help pull it down and make sure the clamping is tight. But I don't want to stretch it out any more than what it already is. I mean, by leaving it open like it and keeping the spring really stretched. So with that, so it's time for me to get on this. So let me get my parts and pieces done, and I'll show you how I'm going to do this. Alright, be back in a bit. PPE. Always wear it. Got my apron on. Right there. It's nice and fits. Got the glasses, the ears, and the mask. I'm fixing to cut. So follow me over here to the anvil and the cut. And let's see if I can do it this way so you can see it. Okay, there's that. Let me get it all sized up and I'll come back again. Okay, I'm back. My wife come home. She put me to doing manly duties. And no, it wasn't carrying her pocketbook in the house either from her shopping trip. Although I'm sure that if she could think about it right fast, she would have had me do that too. But no, anyway. And I forgot to turn the camera back on. Forgot to reset it up and turn it on, so I haven't missed a whole lot though. I cut some 1/4-inch bolts down, and that's what I'm doing right now is make sure they'll start in these holes that I've drilled and tapped. And so doing that before I get a hold of it. I don't have a big spinning disc grinder or chop saw or anything else like that, so I have to do the tedious work like this with a file. Yeah, I probably would anyway because this is too darn. Should have put a nut on there first, but I didn't. I was being stupid again, not thinking about it. Probably used over 1,000,000 miles of all thread rod and bolts and everything else, and all the ductwork that I've hung, using it for hangers, units, and everything. And I've had to clean the ends of these trillions of times. And usually I'll start a nut on there if I got them. But they're not real hard to, if you don't pinch the threads, they cut them off clean, they do pretty good. Okay, also, out here, I have took a piece of angle iron, right here. I welded tabs onto it. I notched out the tabs to go around the existing bolts that's here on the bottom down here. Get this down here. You'd rather see this as my ugly mug. I've not tried it on it yet. Hopefully what I've done is that. But anyway, these holes right here and this bolt right here is what I'm trying to avoid. So I made a notch in this. Okay, yeah. Made that notch here in a slot there so it'll ride on there. Like I said, I ain't tried it on it. I don't know if it'll fit or not. But hopefully it will. Had to grind it out on one side there. It made it a little weak. Had to re-weld it. Because it's just thin. Because it don't have to hold anything. Well, that fits. Alright. That goes right up against there. Pretty much. Just like I wanted it to. What about this hole right here? Now, probably didn't need to slot it any further than that, but I might want to turn it around and do something with it. I don't know yet. So, but anyway, that should come back to there. Let's just see. Well, that gives about 5/8 of an inch in the clear right there. So for filtering, take this off and turn it around, and that gives me, well, that gives me quite a bit right there. Excuse me. That gives me, oh, what, 2.5 inches. I can reach back in there and fuller if I have to, like on a hammer throat. The gully's on the hammer there. It's 2.5 inches. Yay! And still, everything still works. This don't have to be monstrous. There's nothing. You don't have to to be it's not going to hold anything, it's not going to do anything, it's just a stop. So may need to take the file and file that hole out. File the slot out a little bit more. Be alright. See if I got it to wheel start in this. Yeah, it'll start right in there. So it's this that needs it. Let's see. Widen it back out right there. But I take this, just lay it over my leg right there. Hold it and just make sure I get a little more filing where I drill these out. Milling machine would be good for this, but I ain't got it, so I just it the old-fashioned way, the way I started out learning to do it. Drill bit, a hacksaw, and a file. Oh, I need my PPE for that. Woo! What's? And turn the file over didn't help a bit. Alright, let's see what that is. That just makes it that much better right there. Keeps it out of the way. That looks good. And if push comes to shove, if I needed more, I could take a little bit out of this C-notch right here, but if I needed more, like I said, I could take it out of this C-notch right here. But that's pretty good. That's going to stop it when you spin this thing around right here. And see about stump's good and heavy. Everything, so right there. And that goes, that'll work. Just dandy. Right there. Oh, come on. There we go. Yep. Right in there. Well, I'm gonna put that up over with the I don't know, the gripping chicken over there and the striking anvil, and so I can get that out of the way and make some more floor space in here. I won't be able to walk all the way around, and everything that's going to be on that table is going to get labeled and put in something that I can see and stacked on these shelves here. I still got an Adirondack chair to build if I can figure it out. And like I said, I just got a bunch of wood that they said was a Adirondack chair, 2 of them, matter of fact. I don't know if it's enough for two, but I'm gonna look and see anyway. So I'm gonna call this monkey tool over with. So you know, I put out a video on the PPE and everything. Everybody needs it now. No better thing to do than, if you're gonna be stupid and do all kinds of things without any PPE on, personal protection equipment, well, that's just it. you might get away with it 100,000 times, but that 100,001 may blind you. So put on safety glasses. These are polycarbonate lenses, shatterproof, all that good stuff, and they're pretty good. And so the worst thing I got to worry about is just spinning shavings. I ain't pouring no hot metal or anything else like that. Matthew Hobbs, he got off really lucky when that aluminum exploded the other day on him. He had to go to the burn center. His face is burned up and everything. A few places there. He's got one good scab on him. It's nothing to be played with, honestly. And remember, when you're doing, if you build a shelf or something like that, remember to make it go toward the wall. Raise the front end of it up a little bit to keep everything from sliding off. And if you're doing it in wood, a piece of duct tape. Yes, duct tape. Just duct tape to the top of the board up there out front will help stop a lot of stuff from vibrating and falling off. Remember, anything that you would have that you wouldn't care to drop from your waist onto your foot, dang sure don't need to be 5 feet above your head. Now, and no way to hold it on there. So just be conscious and aware. You know, it may take an hour longer to do something safely than it is just go do it kind of attitude. You know, well, take your time. I've had to learn that on that buffer and everything. That right there will teach you a lot, because it will grab it and it will throw it, and it don't care at who or when. So you have to be careful. Go slow. All this other stuff. The only thing I guess you need to be fast at in here is forge welding, and I'm still way too slow for that. So my sandmine piece, I about burned it up. I found it the other day. I was going to make a little bitty pen knife out of it, but it's about burned up, so I'm going to have to try that again. So I'm going to end this. So till next time, thanks for watching. Stay safe, wear your personal protection equipment, and God bless.